Greetings, programs! How is everyone this evening? My guts are still a little unhappy, so I've been in better shape. Oh, I gotta start up subtitles. I gotta change settings. What do I need? Input language is English. Let's give me the menu. Input language is English. Voice language is mute. Text language is Japanese. Do I need to choose a new device? I don't think I do. No, because that's the output device, which I don't care about. Hello. How is everyone? Hooray. Okay, so I think my goal for today, and I don't know how successful I'm going to be at this, but my goal for today is going to be to figure out how to hack experience. Because what I need to do right now is grind, technically. But getting the maidens up is rough. And it would help considerably if I could figure out how to hack experience. So I'm gonna look, I may make some progress and explore around, poke around, but primarily, I'm going to be trying to figure out how in the world to hack experience. So, let's see here. I don't think I have anything I want to sell. That's just the good armor. A couple nice rings. One of these is an int ring. One of these lets me equip maces. And I forget what the last one does. I didn't want to get rid of it, though. Oh, it's the babblefish. I don't want to sell the babblefish. I don't know if it's used for anything. Then we have a nice mace and two reses. Oh, and I can't even buy any more keys. Okay, so what do we need? We need... I got 20 Jimmy Jams. So if I hire you, I wanted to hire you as a silver leaf in hopes that I can level you up more. And then I have 5 left to hire you. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, so let's start with, you know what? It's, can I easily show you guys? Okay, so while I'm figuring stuff out, here's Cheat Engine. So... let's see here. I need to select the right process. This value is a byte. Do not know what it is because it's encrypted. Our scan, then we hurt ourselves. Changed. We go to unchanged. And then we just kind of do this for a little while, and the number should lower. It's really not lowering, is it? There we go. It should lower pretty consistently just by letting the game run for a minute. Usually down to about 100K. 100,000 addresses. Even 175 isn't too bad. 130. Let's see, then we start doing stuff like opening menus. Wow, this really doesn't want to lower. Okay, well, let's hurt ourselves again. There we go, down to 212. So I know your HP is always stored in one of these green ones. The mqplanet.exe plus something or another. I wonder what that means. I really don't know enough about Cheat Engine. So there's not many here. This is probably enough for me to just brute force it. Just a binary offset. See, I assumed as much. My thinking, though, is if it's a binary offset from the actual executable, then you would think it's part of the initially designated memory for the game. Which would imply that it's always that it would always be the same address, but instead it's different every time you go in. try to get rid of some of these. No, it does not want to go away. And that changed everything. I mean, we're down to 90, but I know it's going to be one of these green ones. So, honestly, this is where I just start brute forcing it. So I change a number to 0. Click on the game. That did not update. I don't know what I just changed to 0, so I'm going to change it back. Okay, that one was the visual display of our HP. And it's usually only 1 or 2 after that is our actual HP. Yep, there it is. Now, I can only assume this is a bite. I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, I'm level 16 with 128 HP. What happens if you hit, like, level 60 or something? You should have, like, 300-400 HP, you'd think, right? But this is stored in a bite, which only goes up to 255. At least I'm relatively sure it's a... Like, if I examine the memory for this, which I don't think you guys can see this. FEA8, that's you, which I just set to 0. So that's like 10, and it changes this. But it looks like the number before that is something. So, like, I feel like they have to be able to go beyond the 255. But I'm, like, scared to change the number in front of that. Or even if I change the one after that. Like, none of these make sense. They're all too large. The only one that makes sense is changing this one byte. it's negative 10. 246. Yeah, so it only goes up to 255. And no matter what I change the value here to, I never see our HP go beyond a 255. But that can't be it, though. There's even space for it. Like, you can see to the left of the 128, there's space for a fourth digit. What if I, instead of making you a byte, what if I say you are 2 bytes? How fast can I crash the game? You can totally have more HP! There are 4 digits! No, it's not in a way enough. You can see right there. Right. Where is it? Right here. There are 4 digits to it. So is that these 2? So I have it selected as 2 bytes. Yeah, that's just 8 and 9. So I have that selected as 2 bytes. But this doesn't tell me anywhere down here what a 2-byte value would be. I wonder how it treats it. 7368. I mean, 2 bytes is plenty. You can go well beyond 4 digits with 2 bytes. But then what is this variable stored in? Okay, if this can go like real high, let's just bump it up to like something absurd and see what happens. Yeah, so that's those 2. It looped around. Hey! Thanks, Riddy! So is it... No, there's no way it's signed. Let's just do this and keep changing it. See what happens. This feels like... I've got 10,000 HP. Minimum. So it can go over 9,999. It's not designed to do that. Yeah, so that's 9. Like, for all I know, these may be like 13,806. But is it 2 bytes, or is it like an int? Be a short. That's right, isn't a short just 2 bits? That's all it needs. Or bytes. Okay, so I want to browse this memory region. So this is FEA8, FEA8, which is U. 4 bytes, I think, goes all the way over here. No? Is it reading it in the other direction? 4 bytes and 17. No. Which direction are you reading it in? Because I see the value right here. It starts with 42. But in memory, it doesn't. What's going on? Maybe it's treating like one is signed and one is not signed, one is unsigned. So is this 4 bits starting at this address? That would make the most sense. So what I want to do is I'm going to grab these 2 and add this address to the list as 2 bytes. Okay, so these should be the addresses, these should be the 2 bytes directly after the 2 bytes of this one. Yeah, I don't know how much actual, like, forward progress we're going to be making today. Mostly, I just want to dig more into how the game works. And if I can figure out how to hack experience, that's going to make the rest of this, our lives, infinitely easier. So, 8, 9, A, B. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to change this value, and I want to see if it even changes our HP. So let's just make this like a 2. It did! So this is an int. It's 3 bytes. Or 4. This whole time I thought it was just a byte, but it's at least an int. Three bytes would go pretty high, but like nothing in computers is 3 bytes. Computers like multiples of 2, so it would be like 2 or 4. swear, I thought it was a... I swear it was a byte. That makes sense, though, why I could change the far left byte, and it would only give me up to 255 HP. Because it's only storing up to 255. Okay, okay. Next question. Where's this memory region? That's AA, so that's those two. Let's grab the two after that. So A, B, C, D. Okay, so this should theoretically not have anything to do. With our HP. Theoretically, this should have nothing to do with our HP, so let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, HP did not change. So it's an int. Confirmed, it's 4 bytes. It's an int. Also, I have no idea what I just changed. Did I make it go up or down? I don't really see anything change. So I can get rid of these addresses. We don't need those. Okay, so it's 4 bytes. What can I do with this information? Let's browse this memory region again. Can I window capture? This is memory. Okay, so if I have the memory viewer open, it's going to be right there. Captions are having a hard time today. I know it, Vivian does not handle numbers well. I know that much. Especially large numbers. Okay, so FEA8 is... So these 4 are your HP. Oh, I was really hoping I would see something change. Was really hoping I would see something change. What if I just swap your location? Okay, so it just knocked my HP down. Okay, so it moved, but it just knocked my HP down. What kind of skills that I can use? I'm trying to think what other stats would be nearby. Oh, that's probably going to make our lives a lot easier, though. Just knowing that it's an int instead of a byte is probably going to make that variable a lot easier to find. Okay, so, let's go back here. We now know this is 4 bytes. Okay, let's go ahead and give you... Let's go ahead and find the number for you. So, changed. Really not going any lower than that, are you? Okay, we're down to 44, and we have these. So, these are... Like, I know at the very least it's going to be these. It's probably going to be one of these, if I had to guess. They all look sufficiently... Okay, it's not that one. It's that one. Alright, so how much HP do you want? That's probably good. How much HP do you want? Good enough. Okay, hold up, hold up. Let's look at our memory again. So FEA8, that is your HP. FEAC, that's 8, 9, A, B, C. FEAC. That's Fizz's HP. It's right next to it. So what if I just take this now and add this address to the list? I don't know what this is going to be, so... So this is 148. This is like potentially the next characters. I mean, that's more HP than she's got. It's changing, but it keeps changing to something else. Let me go ahead and watch in memory. I want to see what changes. Only one byte changed. I guess it was small enough and the rest was zeros. That makes sense. Oh, I have a variable set as a byte. What the crap am I doing? There's your problem. Hey there, Dawn. Don't mind us just hacking games. That's a lot of HP. Why are we hacking? Because this game is cheating me. I just consider it evening the playing field. Also, I like knowing how things work. I like digging into things. The game's also entirely in Japanese, so I kind of don't know how to play it. Gangan has been helping out considerably. And without his help, I don't think I would be half as far as I am now. But I still feel like I barely understand what I'm doing. Some of it's curiosity, though, like why do you dissect a frog? That is absolutely true, Dom. Okay, so FEBO. So that was you, FEBO, and it was 4, which means these... This is 4 bytes. Who knows what this is going to be? Presumably, it's going to be C3's HP. Alright, late. Take care, Dawn. Presumably, anyway. Like, I would assume that your character is always going to be the first in the list. Where's my mouse? A lot of HP. Okay, so now we have a stupid amount of HP. I thought it was weirdly over-optimized. I thought it was weirdly over-optimized that the game was using bytes to store your HP. Like, especially anything made in the last 10-odd years. I do not understand why they would use a byte for something as large as your HP. Like, I could maybe understand that when you get, like, down deep in maybe a rendering algorithm or something. But, like, something as high level as a character's HP, I don't know why they would optimize that to a byte. So that makes a lot more sense to me that it's an int. Okay, so next question, then, is... I want to... Okay, so we know where HP is. I'm watching in memory. Okay, so I'm watching in memory. I want to see if anything changes when I cast a spell. Yes! A number changed! Oh, what? It's not actually changing her NP, so what was that changed? I don't think it was her faith. Like, it would have to be her NP, but no, I changed something that doesn't change again. Yeah. So I don't think that was her I don't think that was her NP. That would make sense. FEA 8. No, it was actually the number right before the player's HP. No, that would make sense as being Remedy's NP. So before that was C3. Let's try... no, C3 was the last in the... C3 was the last one in the list, so why would that be Remedy's NP? Okay, let's cast a spell with C3 and see what happens. It was the same thing. I saw two parts of the same byte, or the same 4 bytes change. I am not wearing green now. I have since changed into my pajamas. Do you have any spells? You do have a spell. I have no idea what happened. Well, she can't use NP anyway. Okay, so NP is confusing me a little. Let's go fight something. All those numbers changed, man. And one of them is just booking. You know what it was? It was the turn counter. So I do see a number going right now. I'm not sure if it's the turn counter, but it seems to maybe be like RNG or something. Okay, let's just watch some numbers and see what happens. Okay, so all 4 turn red on turn change. Okay, let's keep watching. It'll probably change because we... It'll probably change because we finished the round, but I'm curious if we see anything for Fate as well. Okay, dead. Somebody leveled up. I saw nothing change for Faith. And then they all changed again now that we're out of combat. What about if I move? They do not change on moves, so they're not turn counters. I wonder if it's RNG. So anyway, I don't know what this variable is. So I'm gonna ignore this. Okay, so I want to find NP as well. Not that I think I need it, but more out of curiosity. I'm gonna close you. Okay, so if we know our HP is an int, I'm going to assume our NP is an int. So 4 bytes, unknown. Okay. Change value. Now it's unchanged forever. Oh, still giving me a lot. It's probably one of these, but it's still so many. Still a lot of these. Probably going to be one of the ones up here, but that's too many for me to want to brute force yet. I'll crash the game. Anything I can do? Is there anything I can do to, like, of these? Still just a few too many for me to want to brute force. Better. I just healed her for 9,000 HP. Okay, I'm a little more comfortable brute forcing these.
Yep, there we go, found it. Okay, so this variable isn't anywhere close to the other ones. Okay, so if we assume it works the same way, then DFO, so it's going to be those four. So these are going to be C3s. Yeah. And then if we go backwards, this is going to be fifths, and this is going to be the player. Okay, so that there is all of our NPs, which makes sense, it's all in an array. I wonder how they encrypt your stats. Yeah, I didn't bother changing fists because I don't want to heck with that to 0. I'm wondering how this encrypted the stats. Because as long as I only changed the left 2 bytes, or as long as I changed the first 2 bytes, it only changed the decimal up to 255. So at the very least, it feels like the bytes don't overlap each other. Like nothing that I do to the second byte will affect the encryption on the first byte. Like, if it was completely random, then I could have changed that left byte, and it would have potentially given me thousands of HP. But no, it stayed there. It seemed to change in increments of 20 or so, but maybe that was in increments of 16. Maybe it has a... Man, that feels so convoluted. Okay, let's set a hotkey for this. Okay. So 65, 78. Okay, so we stay, because it increments in small groups, so 78, so that's 1, 2, 76, 77, 74, 75. And then it jumps way down. Oh, this feels weird. This feels like a bit flip. It feels like I'm reading the bytes backwards. Now 128 is 8,000 something. Can I view this? Show us hexadecimal. No, because that's like a heckin' big number, even if it's 0. I think there's like I think there's an offset. you what, I'm gonna unlock it. Oh, I didn't fix it. Oh, last couple times I did that. There's the world's largest active volcano. The only one I know of off the top of my head is Hawaii. Mount Fuji's not active, is it? Oops. So last time I swapped the character like that, it reset your HP to 0. Oh, so I can change this, but the other bits are gonna change this more. Otherwise, I'd just mash through. Okay, so it reads it in the other direction. So I have to figure out what the 0 is for these. That didn't help. Change my equipment. Do I have like negative HP? Do I have negative HP? Okay, how do I view this back in... I mean, I'm not, but I can't change my equipment. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see if I can get that to be a positive number again. Oh, my equipment. Wait, no. Yay, my equipment's colored. That means I'm alive, I think. Maybe it'll just take a minute to realize that I'm alive. Let's go get into a fight. Maybe it'll remember I'm alive then. Yep, there we go, I'm alive. Alright! Good job. Oh, I'm back to 128. Okay, so looking in memory now, EA8, that's these four. There's still some kind of encryption. There has to be. Otherwise, at minimum, like, these two in the middle should be zeros, right? Instead, they're both different from each other. So there's gotta be some kind of encryption. Because this far left bit here ends up being 128. Does the number go crazy if I set the bits in the middle of the 0? Yes. I mean, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense because, like, if 8 bits if 8 bits goes to 255, and then you change that 9th bit, which would be 0, if you change that to 1, then, like, the 255 becomes something else. It doesn't become, like, doesn't become like 1,255 or anything. So, like, that kind of makes sense, but it would still have to be... There has to be some kind of encryption, though. But it's not just, oh, you add another byte to this byte. Unless they've got a system where they have another byte that they add to this byte. And or like another 4 bytes that they use it to encrypt that they add to this byte, and or these 4 bytes, and any byte that carries over just loops back around instead of adding up to affect the whole thing. But even then, that would be an offset, but it wouldn't change why the number jumps around so much. Man! Okay, so when I increase this by 1, it goes up 1. Then that jumps to 30. If I set those 4 bytes to the value of the next 4 bytes, does your HP become the same as this is? That is another good question. What would be the easiest way to do this? Show us hexadecimal. And then it types it in backwards for some reason. So FEA600D9, so this would be 6024 E796. it's not the same. F-E-A-H, F-E-A-C. So yeah, that's F-E-A-C, which is hers. Oh, because I'm still viewing this in hexadecimal. Yeah, so same number. Yeah, so same number, but different HP. I kind of knew that already, because I'd go down and like set their HP to 0, and it would be different each time. And it's also different each time I enter the dungeon. Hey there, SGX. Don't worry about it. I don't think I'm making too much progress today anyway. I think today mostly I'm trying to learn more about how the game functions inside. Because if I could just hack experience, then I wouldn't need to do all of this crap every time. Experience is permanent. And I'd feel like I was strong enough to be able to fight on a reasonable basis, instead of like struggling to keep everybody leveled up. I'm out of range. What? What do you mean, why can't they move? Are they dead? How was that one on the left not dead? I can die. Oh, I'm dead again. Yup, there we go. Okay, so... how am I dead? I have negative HP. And because I can only see the right 4 digits, I don't know how much I have. Okay, so what did we do last time to get our HP correct again? Like, we at least... So at this point, I'm trying to get my HP to 0. And, like, that did it last time.
Okay, let's start putting in numbers until something happens. Hey, positive. Why did that not set the number to be what it's supposed to be, though? Yeah, we're alive. Just waiting on the game to realize we're alive. Okay, there we go. Our HP is 126 now. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do now is increase this number by 1 until we have 0 HP. It's like jumping around everywhere. There we go, 0. Okay, so that is actually 0. So let's do a new scan. Let's show us hexadecimal. Copy. So 4 bytes, exact value in hex. What? What programming language is the game running on? Heck if I know. I mean, it was compiled to work on PC. But that's all you really know. Once a game's been compiled, the language doesn't really matter anymore. There we go, I'm alive.
Okay, so we have a number of addresses here that are equal to whatever our 0 HP is. So theoretically, these would be like an offset. SGX, you seem a little confused. And I have made the game crash. Still have a lot of HP, so let's just lock that value so we remember having a lot of HP. None of these other numbers are changing. Only that bottom number changed. Still none of the variables are changing. What do we have? FEA8. Wish it actually told me the address instead of this green thing. The green thing is helpful sometimes. I'm curious where a lot of these are. So none of these are even remotely close to where your HP is stored. But that doesn't really mean much considering your HP and NP are so far away from each other. So green is static? I'm still shocked that the address changes, especially if it's static. I mean, that's kind of what I guessed, what I had guessed, but I'm still surprised that it changes. Oh, show static addresses using their static notation. Okay, well, we have that. I don't know what any of... Why are all of these here and none of them change? None of them are nearby. Okay, so here's another one. a new scan. If the other ones are ints, these are also probably ints. So 4 byte, unknown initial value. Stop showing in hex. So we have a lot of them. So we're going to do this to change our attack. So it went down 2. Let's go decrease value by 2. Increase value by 2. Decrease value by 3. Yep, that looks a heck of a lot like it. Okay, so what if I set you to say this? That's about what I thought. So it's encrypted in the same way. It's still an integer. Which makes sense that it's... Everything makes so much sense knowing that they're integers. It doesn't help, but it makes so much sense. It's such a complicated program. You know how easy it was to hack Big Waterfall? It was unbelievably easy to hack Big Waterfall. I could do whatever I wanted. Hack HP, experience, MP, whatever. You want to go out of bounds and wander around in a part of the map you're not supposed to? Easy. Easy. You know where you are on the map in Big Waterfall is an XY coordinate based on the actual map. So if you want to move 1 square to the right, you set your X value, you increment your X value by 1, and then you just like turn or something so it updates. And you're there, you moved. Nothing's encrypted. It's like 0 to 21 or something. If you go beyond that, you go out of bounds, which is kind of weird, and the game starts acting funky. Okay. So what we're really... We've been having some fun, but what we're really here for is to try to find experience. So let's just go... It's probably an int. It's probably an int. So new scan, 4 bytes, unknown initial value, go. I'm gonna focus on C3, so we'll go until I see C3 do something. Oh, this is a real interesting area here. Have I been here on camera? These are all one-way walls. So, like, I can't go that way, but I can go this way. But if I turn back, there's a wall there. And you can just go around in circles. Okay, so exact value. Change value. Probably gonna do a ludicrous amount of damage. Unchanged. Okay, if it's a green variable again, and I would assume your experience is static, then it's one of these. But let's keep going around until we narrow this down more. Because I've crashed the game enough times already, trying to hack experience. So let's really narrow this down. I'm gonna hit unchanged right now. Okay, so we're down to these variables. Yeah, I figure it was probably going to be those bottom two. Okay, I think she got the little, like, anger things because she couldn't get it. So let's just put on change because they're all changed. Yeah, and they're all changed again. Oh, I'm trapped. I've been here before. Gotta be a way out of here. Did she not gain hearts? Or was that like a surprise? Later, Nita. Hey there, Gabriel. I'm gonna change because I'm sure it's one of those two anyway. Can they both increase? So there's two variables. It's one of these two. Ah, they didn't get any hearts because they're all paralyzed. Gotta be a way out of here. You fall down here, you're just trapped. It's gotta be one of those two variables. I'm like, I can't narrow it down between the two, though. Where are they? 8 and A. can't narrow it down between the two. Frustrating. Because I know I'm gonna change one and the game's gonna crash. It's the same encryption, so I can't tell. Later, SGX. So what I'm worried about is that one number is checking the other. And it crashes because I change one of them without changing the other. Which would mean I have to change both of them, but I have to change both of them in the same way that the game would expect me to change them. Okay, so they both just decreased by 1. I don't know what that effect is. Maybe it's like removing any buffs we have on us or something. So 1 heart bumped them both back up 1. That's to be expected. Okay, so we just went from 81 to 79. So that's down 2. But then the other variable went down 6. And then here we have, so 79 went down to 74, so it went down by 5. And the other one also went down by 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and crash the game. I don't know what else to do at this point. Other than just pick one and hope for the best. Or maybe I'll try changing both of them. So what happens if I increase you by 10? And then I'll also increase you by 10. Dang it! Like, it has to be one of those two. It has to be. This game probably doesn't store its save data in a easily readable format, does it? User data, save. Save. It's probably you. Just let me open it with Notepad. I'm not asking for a lot. Oh yeah, that's hot garbage. That is completely unreadable. Okay, so it's not intended to be read by mortal eyes. Do I have a program that will let me open something and look at it in hex format? Do I? I think I do. Dang it. Can I, like, open it in Cheat Engine? Oh, I can open a file. Can I just, like... Here, open this.
Nah, it wants to open cheat tables. What if I open it anyway? Yay! Cool, I didn't know I could do this. Amazing. How much is here? That's a lot of data. That's like nearly... that's like nearly 10,000 bytes. Actually more, that's in hex. Do I want to try to narrow down what possible value could change in the save data, looking at the save file? Is that worth my time? All I want to do is hack my experience. Is that so much to ask? I was really hoping I'd be able to figure something out. I mean, I figured out that your HP is stored in an int, and it's all right next to the other variables, so there's like an array of your HP, so that's super nice. And once I find one person's HP, I've found the whole party's HP, and I have access to much higher numbers than I did before. So, like, that's real swell. But all I really wanted was experience. Where do I go from here? Do I give up? Do I give up on trying to find experience? I don't know what my other options are. I like how this image was done in voxels, but there's some very small things here and there that could not be done in voxels. For example, look at the windows. And the little, like, wood panels below the windows. They're clearly sticking out some, but they're not sticking out a whole voxel.
And then there's just the door in the lower left-hand corner that's at a friggin' 45 degree. I am feeling better, Paz, thank you. It was a cascading effect of, like, dumb stuff, almost. Like, I didn't sleep a lot last night, and I overheated a lot. So when I woke up in the morning, I was very tired and very sweaty. I mean, I was fine, I didn't feel sick. I had a bad headache, though. So after I got up, I figured I am not gonna heck with this headache all day when I'm at work. So I took some headache medicine, but I'm trying to remember the kind. Tension headache. I took some tension headache music, which I think is just like Tylenol, but also with caffeine. And it was bad enough that I was like, I'm not gonna heck with this. I'm not gonna take some Tylenol and then it's barely gone in like an hour. Like, no, knock it out, get rid of it. Did get rid of it. So like, yeah, an hour later, headache was gone, but I think the caffeine was like making me jittery and shaky, and I felt kind of weak. Like, I felt like I had low blood sugar. So I was like, okay, if I have low blood sugar, I should eat something. So I ate something. But generally my stomach doesn't like caffeine. So I ate something, and it didn't agree with the caffeine, which was probably also making me jittery, which was not helping the feeling of low blood sugar. So I ate something, and then my guts were just unhappy, because I had caffeine and food on top of caffeine. I feel like I was still jittery and, like, kind of I didn't uneat it. It wasn't that bad. My guts are just very sensitive. And I'll just kind of be unhappy for a while. It never gets, like, super bad, but I'm never, like, throw up or anything. But I'll just kind of go for half the day going like, yep, guts sure aren't happy. So I don't think eating something helped. I think it just made my guts feel worse. And I was still, like, shaky. Probably the caffeine, not actually low blood sugar. And that just lasted most of the day. I was also very tired. By the time I got home, a lot of the shakiness, which I felt like I also just needed to, like, sit down and rest for a second. So, like, it did not feel good pushing myself to move when I felt like that. So when I got off work, I just sat down for a minute, and I started to feel a lot better. I think my guts had calmed down, that I ate something and I felt better. So by the time I got home, I was mostly just hungry and tired. So I ate something and took a nap. But I took just the wrong length of nap, so I woke up both unrested and with nap stomach. And that's how I felt right up until about the time I started streaming. I started feeling a little better, like right after dinner, leading into streaming. And by now, I think I feel reasonably normal. So, like, it hasn't been a bad day. I didn't, like, get sick or throw up or deal with anything. It was just this cascading event of, like, oh, you have a headache. Okay, I'll take some medicine for that. Guess what the medicine will do? Okay, well, now I feel bad because of the medicine. What should I do? I'll do this. I'll eat something. Guess what eating is gonna do? Like, I didn't feel like super bad, especially by the end of the day. I feel like if I normally streamed, like, right after work, I would not have streamed. But by the end of the day, I was kind of, eh. Anyway, I don't know what my next step is going to be if I want to try to continue hacking experience. It's too late for me to go trying again. I don't know what I want to do, though. I don't know how I want to try. I should have started small. Oh, what kind of job do I hold? I work at Target. I work in the back room. I talk to vendors and stuff. And I make videos for YouTube. And I stream sometimes. And I'm a casual indie game dev. Am I the owner of Target? No, I'm just a worker monkey. I'm an important worker monkey, though. Anytime I'm not there, that store falls apart. And, like, I never take time off. So like, nobody knows how to do my job but me, but my job is actually really heckin' important. So if I call off, everybody's, like, all the leads and everything are just like, what do we do? Do any of you know how to do his job? I've had him, like, call me before. Like, hey, how do we do this? I'm not a supervisor, though. I feel like my job is important enough that I would be if I had a team. Like, I would be a team lead if I had a team. I should write the manual. I did, actually. I wrote an 80-page document on how to do my job. And I realized that was too much. So I wrote a 3-page quick guide for emergencies. And the leads have repeatedly said that when I haven't been there, they've had to cite my quick guide. I should make sure that's up to date. Our systems have changed some, I think. Oh, I wrote that guide back when I had free time at work. I could not even imagine writing that much right now. It's also unbelievably out of date. Like, everything has changed. I might as well toss it. That's my secret, Paz. I don't know how to not work. I'll like go back to work sometimes just to do some shopping, but like way after the hours I'm supposed to be there, like working. So, like I'll go in at like 5 p.m. or something because I gotta go buy something real quick, and I'll see one of the leads and they'll just be like, "Why are you here?" And I usually reply, "I live here now." Or sometimes I'll see people that I usually only see in the morning, but they'll see me in late, and they'll just be like, "You're still here?" I live here. Okay, well, I should wrap up and get to bed. I can't really dive into anything else right now. I really wanted to hack experience, but I just don't know where else to go. We were down to 2 values, like it had to be one of those 2 values. And just like every other time I swear I've found the value, I change it and the game crashes. I should have started small. I should have started like by increasing it by 1 or something. Because I wonder if it's... I suppose that's something else I could test. Because I was wondering if, for the party members, they only ever have a cap of 100 experience. And if the variable for their experience is ever outside of the 0 to 100 range, the game just crashes. So, like, when they get experience and you see the 1 little heart come up, that's 1 experience. They get 3 little hearts come up, they got 3 experience. And I'm wondering if that's how that works. And I'm also then wondering if... Because, like, I just increased experience by, like, 100, and that probably put it completely out of range and it crashed. And then maybe there's, like, a function to level up, where when they gain experience... There's like a function that gets called, because I wouldn't want to write this code literally everywhere that they can gain experience. There's a function that gets called that's just like, give experience 3. And the function, instead of increasing it to a large number, a number beyond the 100, it checks if the number exceeds 100, sets the number to the modulus of 100, of it plus 100, and then runs like a level up function, which would also imply that you could not level up by simply setting their experience to max. They would actually have to gain experience to do the thing. That's my only thought. Like, I should have increased the number by, like, 1. and seen what happened. Oh, if I think about it, I may poke at that on my own time. Because for all I know, nothing will come of it. But on the upside, it should be notably easier for us to hack our stats now. So that's spiffy. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep. Paz, I wanted to catch you, but I wanted to say good luck. I know you're going through a lot of crap right now. You got this. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, keeping me company, even though I didn't really do anything today. I mostly just hecked around. Next week, we'll make some genuine forward progress. We'll dive in and we'll go places. So, good night, everybody.